BenFlyingRetro, and I'm embarking on a quest to purchase every classic GI Joe comic from the original 80s and 90s Marvel run.
Warning.
Hunting down individual issues from every corner of the globe in whatever order the universe decides to give me. Join me and my pal Steve every week as we discuss my latest find. Welcome to Chasing Joe. Chasing Joe. It's Thursday. That can only mean one thing. It's Chasing Joe. I'm your host, or half of your host, BenFlyingRetro. Brother, down under. Where is he?
I'm your other half, S. Jabinator.
Yes,
reporting for duty.
Other half. You are. You're my other half of Chasing Joe. We've gone past the landmark. We're into new waters now, new territory. Episode 51. Apparently there's a comic in here. Who knows?
And not lunch. He's got a lunch bag, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll let you in behind the curtain. All three of my children are back, thrust into the educational system. They are
Excellent.
The government's problem right now. Much like some of the members of GI Joe, they ain't my problem now until they become my problem again at 3:30.
3:30? Even the 5-year-old?
No, the 5-year-old is 3:30. The others will be like 5. Compulsory co-curricular for them.
You are living the dream, sir.
Yo, I certainly am.
It's
now,
9:10, and my firstborn is still puttering around because tomorrow is the second-born's first birthday party. So he's helping mom decorate.
You sound like
but
a
still,
royal
it's like
family.
Sleep, child. Go to sleep. Anyway, I'm very grateful for Chasing Joe for pulling me away from that madness.
Aren't we all? We're all grateful that this exists. Now, whilst we're behind the curtain, this week we are catching up with Mark's donations from Joe Fest 2025. He was walking the floor and he sniffed me out an ARA issue. The only thing is, I've decanted what he sent me and foolishly thrown away the packaging. So just so you know, I am completely authentic. So every time I'm ripping a comic, that is how it arrived to me. Because I keep everything. And I don't know how. We've done a big room sort out. I've had Carpenter in and he's made me some comic storage. And that particular mailer with all of the nice stuff on is gone. So I've put this issue in a no problemo bag because I bought a jumper that said no problemo on it. But yes, it is somewhat of a lunch bag, or a very big one. Getting on a yellow high school bus in America.
Foot long in there.
What do you think is going to come out?
A sub. A comic. Yeah.
Okay, it is issue 104, dropped July 17th, 1990. Wow.
It's the 90s, baby.
It's an inviting cover. But just like Zippy from Rainbow, I want your lips sealed until you have been immersed in July 17th, 1990 pop culture. I might give you the choice. I've picked you up. You're in the DeLorean. You tell me where you want to go first.
It's always got to be the. It's always got to be the plastic for me, brother.
Oh,
give me the
so
toys.
You want to go straight? I love this.
What was big in 1990? God.
Wow. I've got to reach forward for my notes. Look,
his mouse battery has died, everyone.
You've got me to rock up to Toys R Us before they open, just waiting for them to come out and open the door. The doors open. We run straight to the Joe aisle, and all we can see is Sky Patrol! Now, you know I love a subgroup, and boy, did I love Sky Patrol. For me, it was the follow-up to Tiger Force, and look, I got involved. Let me tell you what Toys R Us would have had. They would have had skydive. They would have had airborne, air wave. They would have had altitude. They would have had drop zone and static line. What is your feelings about specifically the figures from Sky Patrol first? So they're all retools, yeah? They're all retools. I've got that information here. So Skydive is Gyro Viper, Airborne, Lift Ticket, Air Wave, Motor Viper, Altitude, Slipstream, Drop Zone, Strato Viper, and Static Line Backstop.
Very good. Wow.
There we go. Look, I think some people might find Sky Patrol, the figs, a little bland, a little too unified. For me, they hit me in the sweet spot. And for some reason, I remember playing with them a lot at school. I would take these into school, and my memories are of kind of like winter play, so like grey skies and dreary weather, and they really fit in with that vibe. These weren't summer figs for me, but I had them all. I'm pretty sure I had them all. I went quite big, so we all know that the foil shoots were...
Do not hold a mean dog. Definitely not.
They're somewhat of a nightmare, although aesthetically they really work with the whole vehicle silver thing. What are your memories of Sky Patrol? Obviously, you were after the fact. This is.
I pined for them on the catalog. I could not, for the life of me, have picked out their parts donors. Like, that's, I think, the most interesting thing about Sky Patrol. Like, this was always going to be something that you cottoned on to after the fact.
Yes.
Like, when was the moment you realized that every single member of Sky Patrol, from the neck down anyways, was a reuse figure? Because they disguised those molds so well.
Very
they
well.
They dressed them in a lot of metallics and a lot of, like, while they each have a different color palettes, there are shared notes, and they each have that delicious Sky Patrol tempo somewhere on their body in silver. Nice touch. They seemed like premium reuse figures, and they were. I believe they retailed slightly more expensive. The only one that I saw on card was one that was re-released in the EU. Well, it wasn't the EU back then. A European exclusive. It was Static Line, who saw reuse in the kind of the 1992 or 3 that's just regular figure card set.
Yes. Did other parts of the planet get 2 Cobra figures? Brazil, did they get something unique? I didn't include it in my notes, but as I was researching, I did see that there were some exclusives.
Was his name Flying Scorpion or something?
Yeah, possibly. I should have.
Was it a Sky Patrol guy or was it an Air Commando? And I couldn't tell you for the life of me. But yes, there's an amazing international figure that uses scoop parts, cesspool parts. They give him a bit of a race swap. So he's a black guy. It's great.
You got it. Yeah,
amazing figure.
You somehow own the redecoed Night Raven, the Sublime Sky Raven. I don't know that that's rare, but it has to be. It just has to be. I don't even think they made thousands upon thousands of that. It just seems it was rare even at the time. What's your story of getting it?
Oh, my 14th birthday, I got a thunderclap, but I got money. Teenagers, man. You have a party, people just give you envelopes of money. Like, this, I think, is a dead ritual. Like, I don't think people just get envelopes of money anymore at parties. People get gifts.
Well,
like, it was...
bank. Kids have banks now, you know?
Bank cards.
You just like, I'll just put it in.
PayPal you something. Yeah, no, we used to get envelopes with money because I guess parents couldn't be asked to take their kid shopping for so-and-so's birthday present. And that was fine by me because I got enough on the day of my party to then cajole my father to nip out to the toy store with me and pick up a Sky Raven, which was on shelves. This was sometime after it had been initially released, but this is a shop that just had loads of dead stock. So
Yeah.
I was getting Joe vehicles well into the mid 90s and beyond.
So in hand, talk to me about the chrome metallic nature of the finish. What?
Absolute mirror shine.
Yeah.
When it's
So,
fresh out of the box, you can see yourself in that reflection.
but that's some form of wrapping. What is
It
it?
is. It is a. I believe it's a spray.
Is it?
Or they bond it. Is it sort of a bonding process? It's kind of in a suspension, and they dip the vehicle,
Incredible.
and it's as it comes out. That I think was the process of chroming. I don't actually know. It's not like electrolysis. Like this is not a metal thing that they attach electrodes to. This is plastic.
That's a real one of one, because a vehicle of that size having that treatment is wild.
Nowadays, I think chrome is just done with a spray.
Yeah.
So maybe it was sprayed on back then. I couldn't tell you. But like the Night Raven or the Sky Raven has particularly weak chrome, whereas things like the Sky Shark, much better. The chrome is far more robust. And the Sky Hawk, the Sky Patrol Skyhawk, it's seen the years. I played with it. Even as a 14-year-old, I got a lot of play out of this. You best believe.
Yeah.
It was my first major GI Joe jet. With functioning landing gear. Like it was a very premium jet. It was kind of a throwback to a bygone era of really, really good, well designed, well engineered GI Joe jets. So this thing felt very special to me, and as such, it saw a lot of supersonic snooping, a lot of like recon missions.
What did they do with the canopy in terms of the tint or the color? Is it clear?
It is
dark?
a smoky sort of grey black.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah. Beautiful.
So, obviously, we all know that the chrome actually has a stealth application of some kind to it. There is a real-world reason why Sky Patrol has everything chromed. It did make for very intriguing catalog shots, and yeah, I do remember being jazzed about Sky Patrol. I don't know if it has much love in the scene in hindsight.
Oh, I think the team themselves are just such a question mark. Like, they look like jet jockeys and pilots for the most part, but they're paratroopers. All their specialities are like infantry and then something else. So
I think
there is a disconnect, a visual disconnect there. Yeah, I think
there's fantastic stories to be mined from that, but yeah,
they are very much their own thing for me. I'm very grateful to have a complete set. I got a lot of them in a trade for a boxed what is it, a Lego AT-AT from like 2015, I think, maybe earlier.
Okay.
It was a remote control, not a remote control. It was just battery operated. It could walk.
Wow. That's
Vintage
amazing.
Lego has no appeal for me, I'm afraid.
I feel like there was a way to go that extra mile with the sub teams. Like, they did good stuff, good work, but I feel like why not launch Sky Patrol with a 6-issue comic or even a one-shot or things like that? There's definitely more I think that they could have done. I don't know if Larry was just done by then with trying to shoehorn all of this stuff into the canon. But
I'm surprised Hasbro didn't mandate it. I'm surprised that the product was being released, that there wasn't a big push from them to include in the comic book.
I would read a Sky Patrol offshoot.
Would you watch a Sky Patrol cartoon?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I got a few episodes of the Deke series for you then, my friend.
Okay. Well, look, you
might eat those words.
You've had me in Toys R Us for so long. I'm literally dragging you out, back into the DeLorean. Where to next? This is interactive. I like this.
Spent a lot of time in Toys R Us. I don't know, man. We're going to crunch the rest of these items.
I'll stop you there. I'll lean over because you're like still putting your toys in the boot, and I'll put on the radio, and we have got New Kids on the Block step by step, pumping out of the DeLorean. I'm not going to give you a choice. I'm saying, look, you've got some toys. I need some books. We're going to the comic shop on Hollywood Boulevard, where you could have bought this, and then somewhere else on the display rack, you would have found some real zany stuff. Marvel's RoboCop issue 7. I didn't even know until I found this that Marvel did a RoboCop book. The Future of Law Enforcement. He is fighting what looks to be like a dinosaur. It's called Robosaur, and the strapline is "Extinct or alive, you're coming with me." You gotta love these early Marvel kind of spin-offs from these IPs. You've seen RoboCop way too young and been traumatized because it's so uncomfortably violent, that film. And now look at what you can read. You can read about him fighting Robosaur. Gotta love that. What do you think of that, S-Jubs?
Just give me the toys, man.
Give me the toys!
Look, this is interesting because didn't RoboCop spend some time, obviously, with the Dark Horse milieu? So, like, the fact that he had a Marvel comic book as well. That's
Marvel had all of that stuff before. You know, it had all of these things in the... You know, obviously, famously had a really zany run of Star Wars books. And they do all have such a... They really went out there with all of this stuff. They didn't go for a gritty police precinct Detroit vibe. They were like, yeah, but what a kid really wants is to see how he throws down against a T-Rex. And I love that. Also, can I just say, for the longest time, I believed RoboCop to be red because of the poster art where he's bathed in red and the Commodore C64 game. All of the kind of print stuff that came out, I always thought he was like a soft red. And can I just say that I did love RoboCop, but the scene where he's getting shot and stuff really, really affected me as a kid.
Ooh,
it made me like truly sad. The kind of I still find that scene very, very difficult to watch. They're just sort of playing with him, really, and it is brutal. But anyway, I'll pick up that book. We can go back to Toys R Us and try and get you a RoboCop toy. Look, we have to go to the cinema, and it is Get Your Ass to Mars, Total Recall. What a summer you could have had. If that doesn't tickle your fancies, you could have gone into Screen 2 and watched Die Hard 2, which is a massively underappreciated sequel. I thought everyone loved Die Hard 2. Turns out lots of people do not. I don't know what's wrong with them. And also another underappreciated entry to a franchise, Back to the Future Part 3, which is the one as a kid you never want to put in the VHS. You're like, oh, what the boring one where they go to the Old West and Doc meets a school teacher. Now one of my go-tos. Such a good film, so fun. It's just pure summer blockbuster adventure. We would have a wild time at the cinema, and let me tell you, in the cinema foyer around that time, you were only playing 2 arcade cabinets. You certainly were in this country. You've got 2 guesses. You have a very good chance of getting this right. What 2 cabinets were pretty much in every megaplex or bowling alley? Go for it.
1990 is too early for that X-Men cab.
Okay, but you're on with one of them. You're on the right, path.
Was it Turtles?
Turtles, 100%. It was Turtles. And it was never empty. There was already 4 kids always playing it, and you're like, oh crikey, we won't have to wait too long. Next to Turtles,
put your coin on the counter.
You would have found Final Fight in every single cinema in the UK. I think it dropped officially late 1989. Now, I really want to take a guess to who you played as. I
think we've done this before, but let's go again.
Streets of Metro City. There's no way you were Mike Hagar. There's no way you were Guy because no one was Guy, so you were Cody. You were just pure Cody.
I love to disappoint you, but I absolutely was Mike Hagar.
Oh, you were the big guy. Okay, fine.
Yeah, we've spoken about this before. I think
we have.
He shares a birthday with my dad.
Love that.
So that was a big selling point.
I know, because you stood there waiting to play, and
the attract mode has like date of birth.
Yeah,
God,
DOD.
really?
I think Street Fighter 2 has that as well.
Yeah,
Anyway,
sure.
we are. I think everyone is appropriately drenched in 1990. We can finally discuss this book. Running total £233.23, $316. This is my 15th donation.
Thanks, Marky Mark.
Yeah. I'm going to sniff this bad boy.
Oh, yes, dude.
Oh.
He found the spine at last, ladies and gentlemen.
Smells like a small town British Chazza shop.
Chazza?
That's what, charity shop. That's what it
Gotcha.
smells like. Just that. What is that? It's musty. It's mothbally.
Yeah,
It's
mothballs.
aged mahogany. You know it. You know it. Let's get down. We've got a Lee Weeks cover.
Yeah.
Now, first thing I see is, okay, this is a highly kinetic, exciting cover. You know, anyone jumping out of a 1990s iconic stealth bomber is like, yes. And it's not just anyone, it's Snake Eyes. He's got a gun in hand. And look, we get this lovely artistic flourish of Scarlet in the cloudscape.
Yeah.
I'm all for that kind of stuff. You don't necessarily see it straight away, and then you're like, oh, the Scarlet is in the clouds. Because she is on his mind. What do we think about this cover?
So, when regarding these covers, there's always like something new that presents itself to me, and this feeling of speed that Snake Eyes is embodying here is you can't deny it. The way his parachute pack is like pulling, it's taut because of the wind resistance. He's got this sling bag, which is, I suppose, a throwback to his V1 figure. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But like, is that how he secured it? It's just around his arm?
Well, you wait till we get to the interiors. I mean, I think he's failing every jump school. I mean, he'd kill himself.
Exactly.
It's like, tie your kit down, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But what I wanted to say about the figure is, like, this is V3 Snake Eyes, right? This is goggles.
Oakleys. Like
Oakley's, the sword, the sort of crossed blades on his chest. But in this appearance, on this cover, he's absolutely channeling his version 1 or 1.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the goggles, with the boots, like he's got like a little bit of extra detail, which I love, but it's mainly black and gray, sort of a midnight blue.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. I wish the figure was a little bit more like perhaps low vis like this. Like the figure has a lot of silver on it, which pops as a figure. But like part of me wants him to be black and blue, you know?
Isn't
just
it
like
amazing that in the in the top right there is effectively just a black triangle, but that means that shape to a 90s kid at middle school means so much. Like, we were being bombarded with news images of these American stealth bombers in the Gulf War, and look, there's a war was on, and that's a sensitive topic, but my God, they were just so cool. I mean, they were just the coolest thing to look at. I mean, I feel like the GI Joe line right then was probably screaming for one of these. Basically just a like for like stealth bomber. But he's leapt from that, which is wild in the first place. Because I don't even think they can fly slow. But anyway, that's why he's hooning. But look, I love this cover.
And he's having to hold his breath because he doesn't have oxygen.
He's got nothing, and I'm assuming that is a relatively high drop as well. But I think it's a lovely color. The yellow kind of works as stars or something. It's the perfect choice for the font. Interesting font for the Assassin Unleashed. But look, you look at the cover, you are jonesing to get into it. So let's do that right now. And my notes, oh my God, a man needs a mouse. So interiors, Mark Bright on pencils, doing a fantastic job. And yeah, you're right. My opening notes: Snake Eyes rocks a lot of loose kit for this jump. I mean, he's got a sort. That's wow. That's a lot of kit. And then the suitcase on top, the sword, even the gun around the neck. I mean, that's going to go through your jaw. But look, he looks good doing it.
Man must know what he's doing, I guess.
Yeah. I have to say, I followed up these notes with, I would have actually liked a couple more panels depicting, the late shoot pull and maybe to have drunk that in a bit more. But the nature of the issue, we get to it pretty much straight away. Do you want to give us one of your Jabberoonie synopsises?
I'll attempt it. So Snake Eyes is dropping into Barovia to rescue George Strawhacker. This is a mission that he was given by the jugglers at the behest of Storm Shadow, because guess what? Snake Eyes' dearly beloved Scarlet is, as far as he's concerned, dying in a hospital bed in a coma. So in order to take his mind off these things, Stormy hands him a mission, puts him into the Arashikage mindset, a trance that makes him this relentless killer, and unleashes him on Barovia, where he kills some security police mercilessly, then storms the security police holdouts in their sort of precinct. The upper Barovians rally behind him, thinking he's some kind of hero of the people. Meanwhile, back in the United States, Scarlet comes out of the coma. Siobhan, her sister, was intercepted from pulling the plug. Hawk's visiting, and he tells Scarlet the bad news that her boy is now in Barovia on secret mission. And if that doesn't make things worse, Storm Shadow and Stalker return to the United States after dropping him off from the stealth, and they get abducted by General Crowther, one of the jugglers, who's obviously pissed off about this kind of usurping of his authority, and they get taken to parts unknown by, were they ninjas? Who was doing the I need to skip to that part. I've forgotten.
Yeah, that gets wrapped up in one page. They
were just regular MPs.
They end
with
the story and then they're out. They just get tranked hard.
I mean, there are details that involve the White Clown and his buddy. But I mean, the minutia we can get into, I suppose, or not. Did you enjoy this issue?
Dude, are you kidding me? I enjoyed the heck out of this issue. The first 9 pages are just a fantastic Snake Eyes mission. And
Bloodbath.
I love it when we get outside the US. This would make an amazing video game level. I'm getting Jason Bourne here, shenanigans in Barovia. I mean, Barovia, former communist country, are we just saying that this is Central Europe, Eastern Europe?
So, Barovia, Volkerkuckuckland, and Darklonia, beg your pardon, I imagine that's the Balkans. So, the breakup of, Yugoslavia and all the satellite states, as the Iron Curtain fell. These are just the infighting that happens around that time.
I'm so thankful that Larry put all of that stuff in, because getting them outside the US, even just visually, the kind of characters that we're exposed to, all of a sudden feels more real world, relatable. I just thought these first 9 pages, all the way up until he has such a kind of cinematic exit from that scene. I think I put it in my notes. Yeah, where I'm just please let me make this into a film. Like the guy's like, "Hey, you down there! Did you see a man in black with a mask? Are you deaf? A man with a mask carrying a gun and a duffel bag. Did you see him?" And he is just walking off, and it's like that's Europe. You can tell it's like the cobbled streets, it's the window shutters. I'm so here for this setting
Aesthetic.
and this aesthetic of Barovia, and I feel like you always say this, like aging up. You know, I feel like even just including Europe and all of that stuff, it's just not lost on me. I really appreciate it. But my favorite thing about those first 9 pages is the art. Now, some of the shadow work, page 9.
Is it page 9?
It is page 9 for me, Buster.
All right. Okay, pal.
A big shadow thrown up on the wall there. Look.
Oh, yes.
How do you like your snake eyes? Well, I like him like that.
Yeah, someone got a spotlight on him, perhaps, or is that a muzzle flash?
On. I mean, it's not just. I think he has fun with shadows in general. Like some of my favorite panels are these vertical ones where he's kind of coming down the side of the building there. Oh, come on.
Yeah, let's have a minute for that because he has. I mean, Snake Eyes, like they don't depict him as faultless. Like we spoke about him like wearing his kit rather amateurishly. Well, it does screw him over in the end. He makes a landing on this sort of roof tile and is being dragged down by his duffel bag. He's hanging off the bloody guttering, and of course the guttering gives way. He falls. He ain't Spider-Man. He's not going to like fire out a web line and save himself. He's tumbling through the air and manages to grab hold of a flagpole. And
there's a hecticness to it, for sure.
He wasn't intending to take out these security guards. He just happened to do it. But, you know, he saves a bunch of bystanders that they were going to mercilessly mow down anyway.
I mean, look, he does get into that room. It's a freaking bloodbath. It's close quarters, and he's full auto, just spraying in there.
Yeah, look, we can have limited sympathy for these guys because they were about to mow down unarmed civilians down there. I mean, whether they were armed or not is besides the point. These guys have a massive fixed machine gun on a tripod. I mean, they would have had fire superiority. But the real crux of Snake Eyes' like entrancement is the fact that a girl begs him to intervene when her daddy, who's one of the security policemen, is about to be shot by a firing squad.
Yeah.
And he just walks on by.
Yes. This is the second wave, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. This is
that's
not
a
a real
mindset,
American
buddy.
hero, buddy. Well, yeah, it is. It absolutely is. He's become this very mean-spirited, like,
Ooh.
Terminator.
Look, the assassin unleashed. That is what these panels look like. He is. He's actually scary. I mean, he is just no mercy. Yeah.
I'll tell you what isn't scary, though. Exactly how handsome he's depicted. He is a good-looking burn victim.
Yeah.
My word.
I don't necessarily love that, but
No.
it is what it
well,
is.
This is Dr. Huntkinder's work, I believe, from some issues back. But
Yeah,
like
he's
he
a
gets
fine
hot coals
surgeon.
chucked into his face like immediately afterwards. So, you know, that delicate plastic surgery probably should have been undone a bit more than just one manly scar running across his eye and the other one running across his mouth. Like he is one handsome dude.
Let me take you on a tangent. When I was a while back, when I was young, I spent a bit of time in the building industry, like laboring and stuff, and spent a lot of time on ladders, and always wanted to master the going down the ladder quickly. And I can see that Stalker is doing that out of the stealth bomber.
Oh.
Because what you don't realize, when you do that fast thing on a ladder, you still go with the hands, but it's your feet that go on the outside. It's a cool look if you can pull it off. I think Stalker was pulling it off, and then they get like 20 tranks into their chests and a net.
It is a little bit comical. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And yeah, all of this stuff is over quite quickly. We actually don't catch up again with Storm Shadow after that, or Stalker.
Oh, it's a lovely panel of the B-2
Whoa.
stealth landing
Yeah.
at the German airfield. Um, hmm. I know that it probably was the best call by the colorist at the time, but
Go
like
on.
a lot of the time we see a night sky picked out in a very light blue. That's
Bit
because
too
the
light?
foreground elements are supposed to be darker.
It's
But
Twilight.
well, think about the splash page. This is midnight, and it feels like it's a blue sky. That always kind of
Wow.
was a bit of an
Do you know
arresting moment
what?
for me.
Do you
If you
know
look
what?
at the silent issue 21, they do darkness
Better
a little
job.
bit better. Mm.
I actually no. I think for me that blue works nicely. There's a coolness to midnight. I mean, yeah, I'm not getting that. The only splash page I'm getting in this book is this. It always made me laugh when kind of like these unofficial brands would redraw video game covers, kind of get them slightly wrong.
Wibbly.
Yeah, but these were in the days where we ain't wasting a splash page on the actual comic. That's advertising dollars, baby.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, look, the bulk of this issue is the Snake Eyes stuff. We do get at the very end. We catch up. Who do we catch up with?
Ah,
Clint?
a desert fox.
Here we go. Who is the geek in the glasses?
Misha.
Misha.
He's a little new addition to the October Guard.
Darklon's troops will never find us in here. Wow. Anyway, they go there. That ain't no forest. It is a barren wasteland.
Hmm. So this is a joint mission between the October Guard and the Joes. They're in what is Takara country?
That is deforestation.
Sierra Gordo, yeah. And Darklon's conducting a mission there, basically taking over the country, basically. And they're in pursuit, but we only get 2 pages of this team to further
Yeah.
their plot.
It
They're in a
looks fun,
bad
though.
way.
I look
They're
forward
having to
hanging
hike
out
through the
with these guys.
mm,
Yeah. So
not in a good way. Like one of the Takaras is probably going to die, which sucks big time. But he's in pain. He's being tended to by the October Guard, but it's not looking good.
yeah. Well, this is Larry juggle. How do you juggle multiple narratives in a 22-page book? But he does it well. You give Storm Shadow and Stalker a couple of pages. You give these guys a couple of pages. You give most of the pages to Snake Eyes. It's a fantastic read. Absolutely loved reading this issue. I forgot to ask you what I ask you every week. What does this mean to an S-Jubs? Did you find it as a child? Do you own it now? How have you just even read it?
I have the issues on either side of this.
Oh, right.
So when I finally got it in trade paperback, I was like, okay, right. So that's what happens in between. But the thing about having the issues on either side is you can very easily fill in the blanks. There wasn't a lot left to the imagination.
Yeah. Have you since...
What was a cool... Yeah, of course, since.
Yeah.
But what was a cool little reveal in this issue specifically is the fact that you've got a deep callback. They've hired... The jugglers have hired a mercenary called Major Blood.
Yes,
He's going to take out Snake Eyes. That's very interesting that Major Blood, you always think of him as exclusively in the employ of Cobra Command. But no, he'll go to wherever the money is,
Don't you
whoever's
feel
paying.
like he has so many panels like that throughout ARA? Like the reveal. I feel like he's always being revealed in that kind of way. And it's always Major Blood. But yes.
You're right.
Let me go. Whereabouts? Where do they deal with that? Must be after the Storm Shadow and Stalker bit.
Well, the breadcrumb is there, which I love so much. Crowther, just before Storm
God,
Shadow
the
loses
art's
consciousness.
good. It's good.
Just Just before he loses consciousness, Crowther says, "Oh, by the way, you might like to know that your pal's girlfriend." Oh, no, that's not it. No, he says it a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Yeah, he looks good there.
Very good. With like a, I don't know, what would you call that hat?
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, is he going fishing? Is he a gunslinger? He's a handsome chap, actually. There.
Well, okay. Criticism time for Mark Bright, and I mean,
whoa, go easy, because I love the art in this issue.
well, this is my recurring thing, and you've heard it before, so let me remind you in case you'd forgotten. I do feel like his faces are all a little bit samey.
Mm-hmm.
Major Blood fortunately
Generic.
has these. He's got these signifiers of like the eye patch and the moustache.
Yes.
You take that away, and he's probably got identical like bone structure to Snake Eyes. The nose, the eyes, like there is once again a handsomeness to the way Mark Bright draws his figures,
Yes.
his characters.
You're right.
Hmm.
Well, I have to say, when I did look at that panel for the first time, I was like, well, I've seen him look more like Major Blood.
Yes,
You know?
bit more caricature-y.
The voice that I put to Major Blood that might not actually fit that dude. He's almost too good looking.
Oh yeah.
I always kind of have his own, yeah, that kind of,
Whereas this looks like a young
Major Blood.
Lee Van Cleef, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about the issue?
Neither here nor there. Look,
This isn't
must
a neither
admit,
here nor there issue, though. I thought this
Okay.
is a banger. This is a banger.
Snake Eyes going ham on just like security police.
You gotta love that.
I don't know if I do.
No.
I haven't quite made up my mind how I feel about stuff like that. I mean,
Those security
showing him
police-
to be this demon, this like unkillable wraith, this like god of war. Snake Eyes is a scary guy. I don't know if you'd be correct in making him the hero of the piece, because he's definitely not that here. Maybe that's complexity that like should build more intrigue and more interest in the character.
Yeah, but Storm Shadow is,
He's possessed.
yeah.
Yeah, like, is that a strength to a character or a weakness? Are you removing their character, making them suddenly like not responsible for their actions?
Yeah, that's why I like the bit where he slides down and then falls on the guttering, because I'm kind of like, I don't know if he would have done that if he wasn't under the influence. There's like a cost to the kind of
So he's
rage almost.
a little bit off balance, not
A
as
little bit hasty, a little bit too bloodthirsty maybe. Or not bloodthirsty, but yeah, less focused on those things where, yeah, you kind of associate Snake Eyes with almost being perfection with that side of things.
And the moment with the little girl, right?
Yeah.
Is this Larry doing like the anti-hero arc? This is
The heel
1990. This is 1990. Punisher is a hot selling book, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the story about a guy who's vengeful, who does not do the right thing. He does the bloodthirsty thing. He definitely exacts an eye for an eye. He's not showing any mercy. And this is Snake Eyes effectively echoing those sentiments. I don't know. It feels like it's chasing a trend then.
What breaks a man out of a Rishikage mindset?
I don't know, but boy, oh boy, did we embrace it with our toys. Because
that was the only mindset he ever had. Unless he was skiing down banisters.
We were constantly doing this with our figure's hands to engage the mindset.
That figure in particular with the tattoo, I mean, it was such a vivid red and it was just so intriguing. You were like, oh my God.
Why are my arms floppy? I need them to be firm.
I've got a lot of stickers sent to me of the Rishikage logo, and I've got them all over. Like I've put them on like plant pots. They're everywhere in this house. Emma's like,
Very
"What is
surprised
that?"
you didn't. Very surprised you didn't get that ink.
I know, but the thing is, my underside. There's only one place I'm interested in having it done, and I've already got lots of things there. I just think for me, it has to be done on the forearms, and it's like, I don't know.
Too busy.
I don't know about that now. Maybe I'll get it done small somewhere.
No. No, you can't. That ship has sailed, Ben. Sorry. You sold out on Atari and Ghostbusters.
I found this to be a very thrilling, exciting, fast-paced issue that I enjoyed immensely reading, and I did like all of the kind of Barovian, I don't know, like militia, and then I also enjoyed the kind of the Eastern European bad police that you'd get from, I don't know, like James Bond films or something like that. I just thought I liked that, like when they're just firing down from that window.
Let me put it this way.
I was like,
I do feel
heavy.
I need to defend. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's pulls no punches.
Yeah.
But I think I've finally figured out why I don't love stuff in Barovia, and it's probably because of the white clown. This character at the center of it, who's ridiculously always wearing his clown makeup. I suppose it's so you can recognize him, and it's a deep callback to an issue in the '60s. That arc with Stalker and the team in Barovia. And he recognizes Snake Eyes from an acrobatic leap. He's like, I never forget an acrobat. Stuff like that. It's just a little bit cheese for me. I
have to say, though, that when you get to those panels, I still don't find it jarring. He is a weird guy. that it somehow it tracks for me.
Okay.
And
you do like Roger Moore as your Bond, so a guy in clown makeup. Hey, just whatever.
Octopussy,
throw him in there.
Sort of, I think that's what it bloody well is.
Yeah. Trip to the circus.
This is a pretty sick
the pigeon doing a double take
panel.
Oh yeah, panel. Snake Eyes crashing through.
Yeah, everything is so much easier when the art is this good for me as well.
Right. Okay.
You're
a lover of MD Bright.
It's like, look how many pieces and shards of wood are in that panel. It's stunning. Visceral.
Yeah. That was not pulling its punches either.
Yeah, sometimes when I enjoy something so much, I always want it to be all of a sudden like, okay, I've read this. I want to now see it off the page. I want to see it. I tell you what, with the way AI is going, I'm sure in a few years I'll just be able to scan this in and it will spit me out a cinematic 5-minute Snake Eyes romp. But
on that topic, though, of seeing this realized cinematically, there's one little tidbit in the letters page I'd like to draw everyone's attention to.
Go for it.
So there's a response, the very last response to a letter, which I'm not going to read the letter that gave rise to the response, but I'll read the response itself from the editor. Maybe it was Larry.
Ooh.
The rumors of G.I. Joe's demise are a bit premature, considering their imminent live-action motion picture in the works from Warner Brothers.
I call bullshine. Do you think? I just don't think any of that's true. I think he's just trolling. What do you think?
I do think that there was a strong belief, particularly in the halls of Marvel Comics, that G.I. Joe was going to be making the leap to the silver screen.
I suppose, yeah.
In those days, Hasbro wasn't a movie studio. Like, they didn't know how to make a film. Like, this was pie in the sky. We didn't realize how far they were. But at the time, I think the fandom also primed.
But also, it's not really saying much that, every IP, there's hundreds of films in development. It doesn't really mean anything. The fact that it was in development is literally a couple of guys kicking it around the office. Like, I don't think they got anywhere near to actually making it, or,
Well, think about it this way, Ben. I mean, we got live-action G.I. Joe movies eventually, and G.I. Joe was far less of a going concern when Rise of Cobra came out than it was in the mid to late 80s.
Yeah, I wonder how far they got. I wonder if film scripts, spec scripts, they could have been directors being thrown around. Obviously, they pulled the pin on it at some point and decided to kick it out of development. I wonder how close they were. Look, it was the dream back then. It was the absolute dream. And when I saw those trading cards that were doing the rounds,
Oh yes,
I know
on the commercials.
I went to Chief. I was like, oh my God, is this behind the scenes? What is this?
Why do these costumes look so tacky?
It would have been amazing to see what they would have come up with at that specific time. I have a feeling it would have been fun and certainly zany.
I have a feeling if you want to experience that, you should watch Street Fighter again.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, it does feel like that.
The other response that I'd like to highlight is there's a letter that writes in asking about what the deal is with Crimson Guardsmen. Why do they all have the same face? Is it Cobra Commander's face? Is he just that vain? The response says, no, it's not Cobra Commander's face. None of the Crimson Guardsmen look like Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander looks distinct. But the response then goes into a history of all the notable Crimson Guardsmen and doesn't actually answer the letter writer's main burning question is why? Why do they do that? And to this day, I actually want to, if I ever see Larry again, I want to be like, so Larry, what's the deal with Crimson Guardsmen? Why did they get surgery to have the same face? Is it just to make them interchangeable? Because if they are supposed to be like deep cover guys, having the same face, that's a liability. Even in the 80s. I mean, there wasn't facial recognition software, but once you had a face, once you had an identikit taken by, the authorities, that's
Honestly,
an APB. That's, they can circulate that.
Like sod signing up to Cobra. I said it before, I say it again. The first thing they do is mess with you. If it isn't plastic surgery, it's like implants or it's mods. Oh, it gives me the ick. Crimson Guardsmen weren't they meant to be kind of dispersed and sort of go into corporate America and see? I don't know why having the same face is a benefit.
Well, particularly if you're going into politics, because you are going to get your picture taken.
Sounds like he wrote himself into it, not sure about that.
I think he just wanted to...
I never played with them that way, by the way.
Well, no, they were just handsome... elite troops, basically.
They were more regal. I'd always have them flanking, so like high command. They were
we never got plain
skilled.
clothes. We never got plain clothes Cobras.
Yeah.
The CG would have been that.
Backstory as well to sort of do all of that. God, they're so cool, though. My goodness. Look, that's been a great episode of Chasing Joe. We've talked the heck out of issue 104 from 1990. Little piece of history in my hand there. Get into the comments. Tell us what you think of this issue. I mean, if you're a Snake Eyes guy, surely this has got to be up there. I had a blast. Find me in all the normal places at BenFlyingRetro on Instagram. People who play for the podcast. S-Jubs, what the heck is going on with the flagship? People are at cons. You're not. You're talking about what?
So the last episode was a deep dive into the Super 7 Ultimates line.
Yes.
Of very cartoon accurate figures.
They are divisive.
Yes, I do like a bit of debate.
That surprises me. It doesn't surprise me.
Not at all. But yes, this week's forthcoming episode, will feature all of us back in the saddle. Paul and Rob will be back, and I think we're going to just basically do like a general chat, to be honest. Maybe cover some... Yeah, let's do some comic books, some toy news, some updates on things that we might have gotten in. I got a few things in.
I did go to my local comic shop and I did cancel Modern Era.
Gotcha.
I finally pulled the cord. Just wasn't enjoying it. And I was like, I've got 155 of these books that I am currently enjoying. And just, sometimes you got to say this isn't for me, and that's fine. Are you up to speed? Are you still reading monthly? Are you reviewing it sort of anyway?
No. When we feel like it. I don't know. It's good to check in and take the temperature. We are a GI Joe podcast after all. We've got to have some opinion on modern comic books, but I think doing it blow by blow, week to week, kind of grinds us down.
Catch up, didn't you?
For a time. GI Joburg, we lose interest.
You're loose.
We just do whatever, man. But one thing will always sustain us, and it will always be the glorious plastic of our youth. That's what it's all about, right? These playthings and what they unlock. So yes, if you like that, GI Joburg is the place to go.
Well, I can't show you now, but I did. I've got my Croc Master that came from Joe Fest, and he's set up so beautifully upstairs in this little area. I've got him I've kind of got him sidestepping like over the croc, pulling up that thing. 'Cause it's quite a low leash, so he has to be sort of hunched, and then he's got the whip up there. But what makes him is that piping.
Nice.
Oh my god, he is perfect. I don't think he's been played with. The knee joints were just like.
No,
I was like,
don't do that.
It took me back to the Christmas I got him. It was amazing, actually. There's a lot to be said for, your own childhood collection is fantastic, but when you do rebuy and it's complete, you do get some of that DNA is still in there, and it does take you back. And
let's get a picture on the socials for old Crocky. Yeah. Come on,
we will. But look, I got a dash. I got kids to pick up from school. So until next week, Cobra!
Snake Eyes, the assassin, unleashed.